This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
Yep, here we are. It's another day. Fucking shit. Yay. Bunch of dipshits tried to come in here last night. One said they were going to swap me or some shit, and then I got multiple calls from law enforcement agencies throughout the night. None of which were anywhere near me because you guys are stupid. You don't think somebody who does a show called The Troll Patrol has been doing it for like 5.5 years now. You think I don't take protections to prevent my information from getting out there? Also, remember, you're fucking with King Troll of the Internet. As I said, you should do your homework. You should go to my YouTube and see the people who have tried to fuck with me in the past. One dude, I called his girlfriend at work one day. He flipped the fuck out after I did that. Now, I'm not malicious. I'm not gonna get somebody swatted or anything. No. I'm just gonna call and talk to their girlfriend at work and be like, Yep, this is the power that I have. That was Poop Boy. There was Maskless Moses. I embarrassed him so bad on stream that he don't even fucking stream. And he did a show called Man Up Mondays. And he stopped doing that. You used to be able to just pop in there without an invite and talk to the dude. Yep, stop that real fast. I made a guy drive to Alabama one time. From like Indiana. So come on, guys. Know who you're messing with. Know your enemy. And if any of you happen to be viewers of the people that were trying to troll me last night, some kind of like crypto scam thing. I tried to look the dude up. His TikTok has like 40 followers. I'm way bigger than him, so there's not anybody actually watching you, dude. But in case anybody is watching, don't I seem way cooler? We give out titty slaps and kick authority in the balls. We make dick and fart jokes, and we find out what that news be doing. It's way cooler over here. Come over here, watch the Freak Daddy. I'll take real good care of you. If you guys want to try again, come on. That phone call from last night was... Oof. I'd be embarrassed. But idiot-ass right-wingers are incapable of feeling embarrassment. Curious or Drake, welcome in. The phone call was right as I wanted to watch South Park last night. So I was doing my best to get out of here before 10 o'clock. So dude calls in at like 9:40. And like I'm humoring him, but I'm like also like I want to get off here and watch South Park because I wanted to watch it live. Because if I don't watch it live, I have to wait until the next day to download it. And I would rather just watch it live, even though I have to watch commercials, which was weird. Because, like, it felt like there was only one commercial in the show. So we get to, like, what seems to me would be the second commercial break, and the show ends. I'm like, well, that was kind of abrupt. I thought there was a whole other segment of this. But it was good. It wasn't as good as last week's. Curiouser thought it needed a content warning, to which I was like, you know it does have a content warning, right? At the very fucking beginning. All characters and events in the show, even those based on real people, are entirely fictional. All celebrity voices are impersonated poorly. The following program contains coarse language, and due to its content, it should not be viewed by anyone. Rich, welcome in. Is that not a trigger warning? I don't know that Trump lost his shit. The White House responded, but Trump didn't rant on Truth Social. I don't know that they showed him the episode. Now, what he might have seen was if he tuned into Fox News and they showed any of it, but I kind of doubt that. Oh, a trigger warning because she's shooting dogs. Oh, I get it. Da-doom. Not as good as MILF and cookies from last night, though. Anybody got to try that breast milk flavored ice cream? Ducky, welcome in. If you guys want, we will watch the episode afterwards. I mean, I don't feel like it's as newsworthy as it was last week. But cool, like, if you guys want to watch it, we'll watch it. I'm down. I'll show it to anybody on YouTube, Kick. This is a Twitch thing. We can get away with it on Twitch. Christy Gnome responds to brutal South Park episode portraying her as a puppy slaughtering Botox addict. She called it so lazy. My response, about as lazy as going to a Home Depot parking lot to try to round up criminals. Secretary of Homeland Security Christy Gnome responded to the latest episode of South Park, which skewered her as a serial killer of puppies who ordered her a squadron of unqualified and inexperienced ICE agents to tackle and detain anyone who appeared Hispanic, dismissing it as a lazy attack on her looks and ignoring the other critiques the show lobbed at her. The only thing she cared about was her looks. She knows she's a fascist puppet. President Donald Trump's second term has featured a sharp crackdown on immigration, targeting not just and by the way, there are several immigration stories that I have been wanting to cover, but I've held off. So tonight is going to be a lot about raids, ICE, immigration. Centerpiece of his campaign messaging, but those who have committed no crimes other than their lack of legal status, revoking temporary protected status for hundreds of thousands of immigrants, and even detaining people who have shown up for their immigration court hearings. Many of the charges have been controversial, and polling shows a sharp reversal in support for the Trump immigration agenda, even among Republicans. Turns out the polling is like something like 75% of Americans say they want mass deportations. But when you start breaking it down, you want violent criminals deported. Do you want hardworking immigrants that are showing up at Home Depot or following the laws and going to their immigration court hearings? That number plummets. As the head of DHS, Gnome has been at the front and center of the Trump administration's immigration enforcement, a visible presence in photo ops at Alligator Alcatraz or the notorious maximum security prison in El Salvador. Wednesday's South Park episode was highly anticipated after the season premiere's brutal depiction of Trump as Satan's lover. You got a little clip of Satan in there. And sporting talkative but very tiny genitalia. Everybody called it AI. It was not AI. There were behind-the-scenes videos released. That was an actor, and the penis was actually Trey's finger. The day before the episode aired, DHS took a still from the upcoming show and shared it on their social media with the ICE job recruitment website link. The South Park creators replied in their trademark fashion, firing back with a reference to the White House's statement, "Wait, so we are relevant," and a hashtag encouraging DHS to eat a bag of dicks. Oh, they changed their fucking... They changed their profile picture to the Christy Gnome with the face falling off. Fantastic. In the episode, the gnome character is shown with heavy makeup and hair extensions that are commonly seen in her public appearances, but the cartoon version suffers from a repeatedly melting face, sometimes even sliding right off her head and scurrying across the floor as she yells for a bevy of assistants to rush in and repair the damage, accompanied by industrial sound effects as if they were using power tools to fix her visage. She's also shown shooting and killing puppies in virtually every scene. A reference to Gnome's... And she talks about killing puppies. Gnome's actual admission in her book last year that she had shot and killed a puppy named Cricket after deeming her untrainable and less than worthless. Each of these scenes shows and that might have cost her the vice presidency. Had it not been for the uproar over that, she might have been named vice president. Probably not, though, since Peter Thiel is calling the shots. It was probably always going to be J.D. Vance. By the way, we're going to hear from Harry Enton later on in the show about who he feels is the 2028 Republican candidate polling the highest, has the best shot of winning, and I absolutely guarantee it's Trump. That is the Republican candidate. I have not watched the piece yet. I just know if we're talking about sheer polling alone, it's Trump. The core plot of the episode, and by the way, he joked about a third term again the other day. The core plot of the episode focuses on Mr. Mackey, a counselor at South Park Elementary, loses his job and applies to work for ICE out of financial desperation. Mackey is shocked at the lax hiring standards and complete lack of training. The orientation video, Gnome kills multiple puppies. Then Mackey and the other ICE recruits are immediately sent out for a raid. We'll watch it. It's like a minute and a half. I thought it was going to be like a 20-second clip. We'll watch it after the episode. Oh, here's Glenn Beck.
When South Park did an episode, and Cartman played me the whole time.
Cartman played Charlie Kirk last night. Charlie Kirk reacted to it. I've not watched it. He's apparently adopted Cartman as Charlie Kirk. I'm sure it is, Kenzai. I watched the fucking episode last night. I can't show it due to copyright. I'm sorry, I'm a little short today. I'm still pretty pissed off about being called a shield for Israel by someone who supposedly supports me. Still got sand in my vagina about that one. And comes into my Discord, be like, oh, here, watch this John Oliver clip. John Oliver does not need your fucking views. He is a millionaire on corporate media. Does not need your views. Does not need you to fucking go promote him in a small leftist Discord. Oh my fuck. Sorry.
Really?
It took me about a year before I didn't even know it happened until like maybe a year later. I was so busy. I ended up years later watching it with my son, and we both laughed over it. But welcome to the club.
Well, I guess so. I didn't get to see it. I was going over budget numbers and stuff, but I just think it's we
lost Glenn's camera.
But it's so lazy to just constantly make fun of women for how they look. Only the liberals and the extremists.
Well, that is not the only thing they made fun of you for.
My job, go ahead and do that, but clearly they can't. They just pick something petty like that.
Oh, wow. Gnome has been attacked for her appearance long before Trey Parker and Matt Stone mocked her in their cartoon, which is with her perfectly coiffed hair, heavy makeup, Rolex watch, and form-fitting combat-style uniform. I quit watching John Oliver a long time ago just because he ain't telling me anything I haven't already covered on this show. It's like baby's first leftist show, so there's no reason for me to consume it. And there's definitely no reason for someone who's supposedly a fan of mine to be promoting him in my fucking Discord. I probably do need another vacation. We took a vacation week like a month ago, and boy, am I still burnt out. Let's talk some more about ICE recruitment. Jen Psaki did a piece on it last night, I believe.
Today, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, was only allowed to hire agents under the age of 40. Today, Trump's Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem scrapped that rule.
We've removed any of the age barriers. We no longer have a cap on how old you can be.
ICE agents can now be as old as the day is long, it turns out. Come on down, Grandpa. They'll still take you. Doesn't matter how old you are. And at the same time, yesterday, 404 Media reported that ICE is also ramping up its effort to recruit young people. The agency is reportedly looking for a digital advertising company to dominate digital media channels, targeting Gen Z via ads on social media and on streaming services.
Listen. Kristi Noem can dominate me. South Park took shots at her looks, but I think she's quite attractive. She can be my GOP mommy. I'm sure there's not many people over 50 that hate brown people. Come on. What do you think this is, a racist country?
It's like Hulu and HBO Max. They want old people, they want young people, they want anyone they can get, it seems. They've already seen ICE flood social media with recruitment ads like this one, quote, "America needs you. Join ICE now." Or this one, quote, "Want to deport illegals with your absolute boys? Go to joinice.gov. I'm clearly not the target audience for that in any way, shape, or form. Or this post, which says, quote, "Defend your culture. No undergraduate degree required." Phrase your culture is doing a lot of offensive work there in that old advertisement. ICE has even sent targeted emails to hundreds of local police officers and sheriff's deputies across the country trying to poach them.
I didn't cover it, but DHS posted this. It was exactly 14 words. It used 88 it was insane. They said they lost track of 1,488 children. Oh, here we go. Here's a Zateo piece on it. Like, they have been doing, blatant Nazi posting. Did the Department of Homeland Security just tweet out a Nazi dog whistle? This is from, 2 weeks ago. On Wednesday, the agency posted a picture of John Gass' 1872 painting American Progress. A heritage to be proud of, a homeland worth defending, American Progress. The art piece depicts a white angelic woman, Columbia, a female personification of the United States and a representation of American progress. A book in one hand, a telegraph wire in the other hand. The woman treks from the bright, promising horizon of the east to the dark, uncivilized west. Settlers traveling by train, wagon, stagecoach, horseback, and foot follow her. The painting was an allegorical representation of manifest destiny. The piece itself is an exhibit of American imperial thought, its hubris, its racism, its hunger. The caption that the DHS wrote takes things perhaps to a whole other level. The caption contains 14 words. Note the capitalization in the caption, AHHD. The first 8th and 4th letters of the alphabet, 184, 14 words. As online observers noted, could refer to the infamous 14 words neo-Nazi slogan coined by David Lane, a man who was sentenced to 190 years in prison for his role in the assassination of a Jewish talk show host. The slogan itself is, "We must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children." Choosing to capitalize HH, meanwhile, could be a nod to another well-known neo-Nazi abbreviation, HH or Heil Hitler. As far as the numbers go, 1, 8, and 4. An alphabetical ordering of the numbers of the capitalized letters of the DHS tweet gives you 1488. The 14-word slogan and 88, the Heil Hitler. Is it just a coincidence? No. They asked Grok, what are the chances that it's purely coincidence that this tweet from the DHS contains exactly 14 words? Grok responded, estimate under 30% probability. Scrutiny is warranted. Even Grok. DHS spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin said in an emailed statement to Zateo, this administration is unapologetically proud of American history and American heritage. Get used to it. Yeah.
Them angering local law enforcement leaders. As one Florida police chief put it to NBC News, quote, "Everybody's so pissed." The reality is that local law enforcement salaries can't compete. Thanks to more than $29 billion in funding for hiring and training for Trump's big ugly bill, ICE is now offering up to $50,000 in a signing bonus to new recruits and up to $60,000 of student debt repayment.
Well, you know what, Drake? $60,000, that takes care of my entire student debt. Wow, that's like just above what I owe. It's somewhere between like 40 and 60 grand, somewhere in that range. And I'm 41 years old. I can now apply. How long do you have to stay in to get the signing bonus? The student loan repayment?
Be 18, you could be 75, you don't need a college degree. They'll take you. You can hang out with your absolute boys.
I have a college degree.
Sure. And they'll give you a big fat bonus and pay off your student loans if you've got them. That is how ICE is hiring right now. The goal is to
let's join and do industrial sabotage.
Supersize Trump's immigration.
Take their money.
And while Trump is supersizing the part of our immigration system that arrests people, he is simultaneously shrinking the part of the system that gives those same people due process.
I was actually going to cover this. He's fired a bunch of immigration judges. So Jen Psaki taking the words right out of my mouth.
While he is hiring ICE agents by the thousands, he is firing immigration judges by the dozens.
For Judge Dice, the axe came last Thursday in the form of a 3-sentence email. The Attorney General has decided to remove you from your position, the email stated. Your removal is effective today.
Since Trump took office in January, his administration has fired dozens of immigration judges without cause or reason, with emails like that one. The immigration courts now only have about 600 immigration judges total nationwide to handle a backlog of about 3.5 million cases. That means that while the Trump administration is trying to...
They want to deport those 3.5 million people. They don't want to give them the due process.
...unprecedented number of immigrants, there will be fewer and fewer immigration judges around to hear those immigrants' cases, to decide whether or not their arrests were lawful. Now, normally immigration judges can't comment on administration actions because of their jobs. But now that Trump has fired them, some immigration judges are starting to speak out. And I want you to hear how they're thinking about all of this.
What's at stake here?
It's really the future of our country. If the funding is going to enforcement and there's no justice left, that shows that our country is no longer embracing the need for due process and for justice.
If you're attacking the very judges that adjudicate cases, there's not going to be a rule of law. That should concern everybody, not just immigrants, but U.S. citizens.
Today is them, is immigrants. What about tomorrow? Who's going to get due process denied next?
First they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak up because I was not a trade unionist.
I'm going to get due process denied next. It's quite a statement.
They don't have a right to see a judge.
Right.
They came here illegally. They came here illegally.
Excuse me?
So when the Japanese were bombing Pearl Harbor, did we give them due process to actually see a judge?
No. We put them in concentration.
No, and that was wrong. We widely accept that that was a fucking blight on the history of this goddamn country. Jesus. I want to punch this mother. This is that one dude. Fuck, what was the thing that he did? I covered it not that long ago. Hold on. I did a whole video about it. This motherfucker. Hey, PC Aviator. What was satire? What are you talking about? I love when I get accused of ad hominem by dipshit right wingers all the time, because I'll destroy their argument and then call them fucking idiots. But what ad hominem actually means is like what you just did. So instead of tackling the comments, which straight from a Republican official, nothing she has said has been wrong. As I said, she even went over the story I was going to do about immigration judges being fired. Like, nothing in this story has been satire or wrong, but you think because it came from MSNBC, it is somehow invalid. That's an ad hominem, my friend. You realize that, right?
Concentration
They
camps.
invaded our country.
We put them in
stopped them from
concentration camps.
invading
Have
our
you heard?
country.
That was the lieutenant governor of Indiana earlier this week. And as you can see, the Trump administration's talking points about how invading immigrants do not deserve due process has quickly saturated the MAGA world. It's not where the majority of the public is, but certainly where the majority of some of the MAGA world is. That's deeply alarming, considering the tens of billions
Majority of where the fascists are.
into immigration enforcement, courtesy of the big ugly bill. While at the same time, desperately needed officials like immigration judges are being culled. Joining me now is Jay Johnson. He served in multiple prominent roles during the Obama administration, including as the Secretary of Homeland Security, which of course oversees border security and enforcement of immigration laws. It is great to see you, and there's so much to ask you about. I just want to start by asking you about the influx of funding into ICE. And immigration enforcement. And this is certainly part of enforcement is part of what our country does under any president. But what we've seen.
Yes. Now I remember what I did the video on this dude over. He is incredibly racist, apparently. So this was us covering. This was just a couple months ago. April 30th is when I did this video.
The Three-Fifths Compromise is not a pro-discrimination compromise. It was not a pro-discrimination or a slave compromise that the founders made. It was actually just the opposite. So what they did is they came up with a Three-Fifths Compromise. They said, you will only get 3/5 of a vote when it comes to your slave. And what that did, it actually limited the number of pro-slave representatives in Congress by 40%.
Limited? No, it allowed more pro. Yeah, why would a white guy lie about slavery and racism?
But they're not taught that today. And that's why you had the Senate Democrats who were getting up talking about the Three-Fifths Compromise like it was some sort of terrible thing in our past. It was not. It actually was the exact opposite that helped to root out slavery. Go look them up, and you will find that the Three-Fifths Compromise and many other things like that were designed to make sure that justice was equal for all people and equality.
That justice was equal for all people. My God. No, it allowed slavery to continue for almost another 100 years. That's what the Three-Fifths Compromise did. Instead of ending it then, it allowed it to continue for almost another 100 years. And we had to fight, over 100 years. And we had to fight a civil war over it. So, good job, dipshit.
The arresting on the street of students, of parents, of people who are seeking asylum, of some who are here legally, spouses of veterans. There's so many stories here. It seems to be in the pursuit of meeting this 3,000 a day quota. How concerned are you about that? And of course, the massive influx of funding to ICE. It's almost like they don't know what to do with the money.
Exactly. First, I have to take exception with that clip you showed from the lieutenant governor. A migrant in the United States is not the equivalent of a wartime enemy. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Kenzai. Sorry. I'm horrible at math.
But then you take my 75%.
I was right the first time when I said almost 100 years.
66 and 2/3%. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning.
Anytime there's a large plus up of massive funding in a big hurry, you always have to worry as a taxpayer whether that money is going to be spent wisely. There are going to be a lot of private contractors with their hands out, not necessarily yielding to the best deal for the American taxpayer. And I'm not sure it makes sense to, for example, if you were in the midst of a war against drugs, you might hire a lot of DEA agents, you might hire a lot of cops, but you don't then also fire a lot of judges. in order to hear the cases and sentence people to incarceration. So right now, the immigration backlog is years. It's millions of cases, backlog years. Very often.
It was years before Trump came into office. We were short on immigration judges long before Trump came into office and started firing them.
A migrant shows up to hear.
That's been the biggest issue in our immigration system.
Asylum claim. The judge hears it for 2 hours and then says, come back in 2027. So the answer is not lay off judges. If President Trump wants to see more deportations, wants to see the process move a lot faster, you don't create a huge backlog. I have to also add that this surge of hiring new ICE agents, anytime you draw a big net like that and try to bring on just anybody who wants to defend their culture, so to speak, you have to worry about exactly the character of the person you're bringing on. Big city police departments have made this mistake from time to time. Instead of hiring a dedicated, disciplined law enforcement,
not a mistake,
they're hiring the neighborhood badass, and
that wasn't a mistake.
A lot of real problems in the enforcement of the law.
I think that's exactly the concern with the incentivizing of $60,000.
No, dipshit, not a mistake, not a mistake. Like I use the example of the LAPD, which hired a bunch of Alabama cops in the 60s. Not a mistake. That's literally what they wanted to do. What's the quote? A system's purpose is what it does. Is that the quote? The purpose of a system is what it does. So you can't say it was a mistake when they did it on purpose. Yesterday, they conducted what was called a Trojan horse raid. A Trojan horse raid. Happened at a California Home Depot.
Operation was conducted at another Southern California Home Depot.
Caller, you're on the Troll Patrol. What's going on? Guess they didn't want to talk to me. "16 immigrants were detained in what was called a Trojan horse operation targeting a California Home Depot."
A federal immigration operation was conducted at another Southern California Home Depot today, and this time with Border Patrol agents pouring out of the back of a Penske truck. CBS News correspondent Nydia Cavazos joining us now with all of these details to this morning's.
No spam calls, but I have gotten like a beauty parlor call to confirm my appointment.
Raid. And Nydia, I know you were on the ground talking with witnesses after this raid occurred. What did they tell you?
We now know, according to the Department of Homeland Security, that it's a total of 16 immigrants that were detained. Now, we were on the scene earlier today. We were able to talk to some of the bystanders and some of the immigrants who managed to flee from agents. And they say that most of these day laborers that were outside of the Home Depot parking lot, they initially approached this moving truck thinking it was somebody who was arriving and ready to hire a day laborer, but instead they were met with federal agents. And now in some of the videos that were obtained by CBS News from these raids, we see that these agents arrived in
Thank you for throwing out the gift sub.
Truck. They immediately began spilling out into the parking lot and running after some of these immigrants until they were officially.
Damn right, Drake.
Nydia, have any officials spoken out about today's raid?
You know that the Department of Homeland Security has confirmed the total number. It's 16, and they've also said that this was part of a targeted raid, which they're dubbing this operation as Trojan Horse. Now, the Trump-appointed U.S. Attorney Bill Lassaley.
I won't go that far, my lord. I appreciate the hell out of T-minus.
Stories that are out of reach for the federal government. And he also posted on X saying, for those who thought immigration enforcement had stopped in Southern California, think again. And from what we were hearing from immigrants on the ground and some of these day laborers, some of them say that they had chosen to stay home for a couple of weeks to wait this out. They were fearing deportation, and until recently, they began to head out to these Home Depot parking lots again because they needed to work, and they thought that these enforcement activities might have slowed down. But today, some of their relatives and friends were detained.
Well, that's how you know they're not going after criminals, Samson. There's no firefights.
Nydia Cavazos. Nydia, thank
Oh, he's absolutely due credit.
ICE Director Todd Lyons told
But to say to say that the 40 subs or so that I have keeps me fed and housed. Woo! More like 400 subs would keep me fed and housed. But that's a long way off.
It's news that his agency is still focused on deporting the worst of the worst, but that a lack of cooperation from some local law enforcement agencies is actually getting in the way. So in a recent exclusive interview, Lyons said that when jails and prisons refuse to turn over non-citizen inmates, ICE agents have to go out.
Absolutely doing his part. I love him for it.
Will arrest anyone else living in the U.S. illegally that they encounter along the way. So how are sanctuary policies?
Not his fault that Twitch doesn't pay well.
Confirmed team.
And that YouTube pays even less.
One of the ways ICE targets immigrants with criminal records is by issuing what are called detainers. These are requests to jails and prisons to share a person's release date or to hold them for an additional 48 hours so that ICE can travel to the facility and arrest them. Some local law enforcement agencies don't comply with these requests because of sanctuary policies that limit cooperation with ICE. Administration officials have said this prevents ICE from arresting dangerous criminals, and ICE data suggests these policies can make it harder for federal agents to go after those already in the criminal justice system. We found that in jurisdictions the administration classifies as sanctuaries, ICE made an arrest for about 1 in 5 detainers it issued from January 20th through June 27th. Everywhere else, that arrest rate is nearly 3 in 5. ICE told CBS News it issues detainers on incarcerated people with prior convictions for rape, murder, and drug trafficking. But ICE's own data suggests there's more to the story. ICE labeled 44% of people it issued a detainer on with the lowest threat level, or no threat level at all. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons also claims that the agency is making more so-called collateral arrests in sanctuary jurisdictions. That is, picking up immigrants without criminal records. The data also paints a more complicated picture here. We found these arrests are increasing nationwide. Take Texas, which has no sanctuary policies. The state saw a 260% spike in non-criminal arrests this year compared to last year. California, which is a sanctuary state, saw a similar increase at 250%.
They've been specifically targeting California.
Sanctuary policies can make it harder for ICE to detain incarcerated non-citizens. The data doesn't clearly show these policies are the reason we're seeing an increase in arrests of immigrants without criminal records.
Since they brought up sanctuary cities, let's talk about what a sanctuary city actually is. It says that if you have not been involved in criminal activity, and you go to a police department, say you're a victim of a crime, or you were a witness to a crime, and you go to a police department, you will not be questioned about your immigration status. That's all it means. It makes cities safer because it allows people to cooperate with law enforcement without fear of being deported. Specifically to protect people who are victims of crimes. Immigrants who are crime victims and waiting for visas now face deportation. Immigrants who applied for U visas reserved for victims of certain crimes who agree to help authorities are no longer protected from deportation and fear for their future. Domingo Mendez, eyes filled with tears. He says he hasn't seen his family since July 10th when he went to an appointment with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and was detained. I'm in the process for a U visa and they detained me, but I don't know why they're detaining me. I'm following all their rules. This is Mendoza Mendez, a 45-year-old Mexican immigrant. He said in a video call with Noctius Telemundo from the Freeburg County Correctional Facility in Minnesota. In 2013, Mendoza Menendez, who had crossed the border 13 years earlier, was the victim of a violent robbery in Minnesota, which was recorded and investigated by police. The type of assault he suffered is included in the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services list of crimes that qualify for a U visa, a measure designed for victims of criminal acts in the U.S. who agree to help authorities investigate the crime. However, as part of the Trump administration's mass deportation campaign, some immigrants who've applied and are in the process of waiting for a U visa have been detained. I feel sad. I'm trying to gather my strength, but there are so many things happening here. Many of us are having our rights violated. Yeah, you are. Magdalena Meteliska, the immigration attorney handling Mendoza Mendez's case, said that other administrations didn't take coercive measures against victims applying for U visas, but that has changed with the second Trump administration. Now, if someone has a visa pending and even been given a work permit, like Mendoza Menendez, it doesn't really matter because these people are also being arrested and detained. Where's all the people that said they want them to do it the right way, to come in legally? Come on. Where the fuck are you assholes at? A man who ran for ICE the other day in California says he is being wrongfully pursued by immigration agents.
Federal agents who tried to break down his door. A Fontana man says he and his family are trapped inside their home, afraid to leave. The man says he was stalked for days, followed and harassed by federal agents who he says have not produced a warrant for his arrest.
He says
and tried to kick down his fucking door.
Afraid to leave his home along with his wife and children. Lindsay Pena live in Hollywood with his story tonight. Lindsay.
Yeah, Micah and Cher, that family has been in their home for almost a week now. They say they're terrified to leave, but don't know how much longer they can stay. And while the federal government says he has a violent criminal history, he says that's not the case and he can prove it. Security footage shows the moment a man narrowly escapes being caught by federal agents in Fontana. Just steps ahead, he manages to get inside his apartment and slam the door. He says, seeing two hooded men made me nervous and I ran. The man in the video, only identifying himself as Jose, says he was driving to work on July 30th when the men in the video tried to stop him. They haven't told me who they were, he says. They're banging and kicking at my door, and if they were ICE, they would have had some kind of order. Since that day, Jose says he, his wife, and 3 young children haven't left their home for fear of what could happen. Another video from that same day shows agents at his fence with keys Jose says were taken from the car he left behind.
Wow!
ICE released a statement to Univision that on July 30th, agents attempted
a dangerous foreign
undocumented from Nicaragua with a criminal history which includes assault with a deadly weapon. But Jose says he has no criminal background, only charges that were dismissed by a judge after a dispute with a neighbor. At this point, it's unclear whether agents had a warrant for his arrest. He explains, here, I have the documentation from the judge that shows I have no charges.
And the family had a lot of needs.
Javier Hernandez with the Inland Coalition for Immigrant Justice says Jose reached out to the organization for help.
We visited the family, we took groceries to them, and also did legal intakes to see, to learn more about their case.
Hernandez tells KTLA Jose and his family came to the U.S. in 2022 from Nicaragua seeking asylum, but couldn't afford the legal fees to continue the process.
He is being persecuted by his government in Nicaragua for being openly speaking out against the government. We are helping them with their case legally so that we can find a way for them to be able to fight their case and at the same time be able to leave the house without fearing that they're going to be targeted. Or
this motherfucker. I cannot wait. It is only a matter of time until a fucker does something like that and does get shot by a fucking 12 gauge behind the door. The problem is they are targeting peaceful immigrants who are here legally and are keeping a low profile. That's the problem, and that's why one of them haven't been shot in the face yet. Because you do that kind of shit in America, you will get shot in the fucking face.
To leave the house without fearing that they're going to be targeted or deported.
And we did reach out to the Department of Homeland Security.
By the way, the Supreme Court has ruled if a cop is doing this, does not have a warrant, is trying to kick in your house, it's legal to do that to them. 100% legal. Yay, Second Amendment.
And we did reach out to the Department of Homeland Security about Jose's case, but we have yet to receive a reply. We're live in Hollywood. Lindsay Pena, KTLA 5 News. Sharon, Micah.
What was it that one of the right-wing dipshits said last year during the election? We're going to have to start looking for Second Amendment remedies for what's going on in this country. Two or 3 weeks ago, we did a story about an immigrant who died during a raid, apparently fell off a roof. We have reason to believe that he possibly didn't fall. The family is demanding answers.
We want to thank everybody from the media coming by to show their support for Jaime Alanis and his family who are behind us. Tragically, a human being's life was lost, a human being who was doing nothing other than to provide for his family. I'm Robert Simon. I'm trying this case along with Robbie Munoz, my partner. And we're here to tell you about what we filed yesterday against the federal government. It's called a federal torts claim, which you have to file before you can even file a lawsuit, which we have put out all the allegations of what we believe the U.S. government did wrong during what we believe to be an illegal search and seizure in violation of the Fourth Amendment and the 14th Amendment. We do not think it is a crime to be walking while brown or to have an accent. That is not a crime. It is not probable cause. We believe it to be unconstitutional. In the Federal Torts Claim Act, we have to wait 6 months for the government to decide, are they going to provide information? Are they going to be able to give this family finally some peace to understand what exactly happened that day? If anybody knows me, I'm big on saying, show us the receipts, not just the tweets. We asked the U.S. government. There was a warrant that was issued, so they say. Any warrant is unsealed.
So they say.
Executed.
I didn't see the whole thing, but it said I only like ice in my. I can't tell. In my whiskey. There we go.
There were cameras at Glass House. Show us. We find
Mr. Sprunk,
that
my lord, Ducky, Samson,
whether they were
Lenny, anybody I didn't say hey to already.
Suddenly, this raid happened. They claim that they were there for child labor exploitation. Show us. The last thing anybody wants here are any type of dangerous people, dangerous criminals hurting anyone. And let us be clear. Being an undocumented immigrant is not a dangerous criminal. It is not a crime. It is a human being. A life was lost. You will see in our Federal Torts Claim Act claim form we submitted, we're demanding $47 million per each of the heirs of Jaime.
And I hope you get paid.
We just think it's very. Again, there was the day after this on Black Friday, a federal judge who's right over here at the Central District of California, issued an order and said, in the case of Vasquez versus Nome and the rest of the federal government, what you're doing is illegal. It's a violation of the 14th Amendment, the 4th Amendment, and that judge told the federal government, if you're not doing it for racial profiling, if you have a valid warrant, a valid reason, show us. July 28th, they had a hearing, the federal government had nothing. That was just upheld by the 9th District, or the 9th Circuit, of being constitutional. Might go up to the Supreme Court, but let me just add this. What is happening, we saw today, right now on August 5th, we have folks that are just at Home Depot in Westlake Village this morning, at MacArthur Park. They had U-Hauls roll up with ICE agents. Like they called it Project Trojan Horse. You tell me, how was that constitutional? They were just rounding up people like cattle because they were brown and had an accent, and that's it. No warrants, nothing. So I challenge every single advocate, every single lawyer, continue to file these lawsuits and be loud about it. I'm going to turn it over to Robbie Munoz. We do a lot of work and try cases together.
Thank you, sir. And I don't like the fact that I didn't see any actual news stories done on your press conference. Weird. Plenty of time to do propaganda like this. This is just posted by News Nation about 3 hours ago. Bradley on the border, going for a ride-along.
And we're here earlier
with ICE.
We're getting ready to go ride along with ICE. They're conducting a targeted enforcement operation here in El Paso, something that we have not yet witnessed. So we're going to go see what we can find today.
Good morning, guys. All right, this guy, the target we're going after today is actually here legally as a lawful permanent resident. Okay, in 2021, he got arrested. That's when we first encountered him. He got arrested in the county jail for 5 different counts. The first one was sexual abuse of a child, continuous, victim under 14, 2 counts of indecency with a child, sexual contact, and 2 counts of aggravated
sounds like a Republican
assault with a child. Well, he just got convicted in May of 2025 for one count of sexual abuse of a child.
They employ Chris Cuomo, who was a fucking moron, as I covered last night. Fell for a AI deepfake that literally said it was AI on the video. The stupid fuck.
All right, so what we're doing right now is we're essentially on a stakeout. We are at the mercy of this target right now because they have an administrative warrant. They're not actually able to go inside of the home, so they have to wait for this individual to come out. That is very typical of a lot of these individuals that have criminal history, that have an order of removal, that are part of these targeted.
You're exactly right, Lenny. Of course, they're gonna single out the one real criminal they round up,
or go into this person's house
and then use this as propaganda. Like, oh well, how can those libtards be against this? We're rounding up child sex traffickers.
And that is why.
No, you're not. You voted for a child sex trafficker, you stupid fucks. And this is just one of many pieces that are ride-alongs that they are doing. This is
hello.
His fucking ringtone.
Yeah.
Washington Examiner did a ride-along with Florida Highway Patrol, where we got to see firsthand the process.
I'm pretty sure Inner Circle was mocking the cops.
Legally.
This is the Washington Examiner. They're rounding up people for Alligator Alcatraz.
Okay, so we're pulling up on a traffic stop here. I don't know what the reason for the stop is as of yet, but we will find out in a minute. And if he thinks he has some suspected possibly illegals. In the front right there doesn't have an ID. He said this is his name, and he's telling us that he's only 15 years old. 15? Yeah. And I asked him where his family was, and he said they're still in Guatemala. And I don't know, it seems kind of weird that you'd be 15 years old and be here. And then this guy's the one driving the car with the cap on, and that's who you got in your hand.
We're just 10 minutes into our ride along with state troopers, and just behind us they've pulled over a van for making an illegal turn, and what they found as part of the 287 G
for making an illegal turn.
Questions about the driver and passenger's immigration status is that the 3 people behind us appear to be in the country unlawfully, and so now Border Patrol officials are arriving on the scene to look up that information and see if in fact they are unlawfully present and can be deported by the Trump administration.
The passenger, the juvenile, he had someone send him a photo picture of his paperwork, and he is a released juvenile.
But she's got a learner's license too.
Oh.
We never actually see them take them to Alligator Alcatraz, but that was the nabbing illegal immigrants for Alligator Alcatraz in Florida. That's what the Washington Examiner was posting. Let's hear about what's going on in Alligator Alcatraz. That wasn't a reporter. Let's hear from a former worker at Alligator Alcatraz.
Since the so-called Alligator Alcatraz opened, we've been hearing similar complaints.
Conditions that they're going through, they're horrible.
This place is a cage.
From detainees, their families, and Democratic leaders.
Somebody's gonna get hurt.
Tonight, only on 6, you'll hear from a woman who says she worked inside the facility.
NBC6 politics reporter Hansavella has been covering the detention center since it opened and now brings us this exclusive report.
This woman says she arrived at the facility on July 6 and spent a week working inside before she got sick and then had to isolate.
I thought it would get better, but it never did.
This is Lindsay, and this is how she describes what she saw when she spent a week working at the controversial Alligator Alcatraz.
It's inhumane the way that they're keeping their residents.
We're using her first name because she worries about her family's privacy and online harassment.
When I got there, it was overwhelming.
She shared her state of Florida credential, which lists her position as a corrections officer.
They said it was going to be 5 days on, 2 days off.
She also provided us with a copy of her contract with Garter World Federal Services, a security company reported as one of the vendors at Alligator Alcatraz.
Of course it's a private contractor.
Shows that we're hiring for the position a month ago, offering...
If anyone is unaware, this is just them taking your tax dollars, funneling it into the hands of private contractors. It's a giveaway to their fucking funders of their elections, their campaigns, and you guys fell for it. You guys fell for it. They're out here harassing innocent fucking immigrants that have done nothing wrong, putting them in concentration camps just to make their fat cat friends even richer. Right-wingers are absolute morons.
$26 an hour.
I was aware that it was going to be the Alligator Alcatraz.
While Lindsay knew she was going to be living in a shared trailer, she says the conditions were rough for everyone there.
We had to use the porta-johns. We didn't have hot water half the time. Our bathrooms were backed up.
Shut it down! Shut it down!
NBC6 has reported similar accounts from advocates, detainees, and their families.
It looked like an oversized dog kennel.
She says each tent had 8 large cages.
Each pod holds 35 to 38 inmates. They have bunk beds in them.
Do the math, and that means each tent holds close to 300 detainees.
They have no sunlight. There's no clock in there. They don't even know what time of the day it is. They shower every other day or every 4 days. The bathrooms are backed up because you got so many people using them.
On rainy days, she says, the water pours into the tents. She described the conditions as miserable. Not to forget the constant battle with mosquitoes.
Not everybody there is a criminal.
NBC6 News has asked the state for a list.
I would say the overwhelming majority aren't criminals.
Detainees at Alligator Alcatraz, but has not received it. Last month, a Human Rights Watch report found nearly 72% of people detained.
Dang, I was correct.
Had no criminal history.
These people are still human. You've pulled them from their livelihood. They're scared. They don't speak our language.
Lindsay says she was fired from the facility after she caught COVID and was accused of altering medical paperwork submitted to the company. She denies the allegations and says she's coming forward because of what she saw.
And yeah, I was fired, and yeah, I'm pissed off, but more so than ever, like, they're doing wrong.
Lindsay says she has not been paid for the work at the facility. The company...
Hey, you were okay as long as you're getting paid, though, right?
Instead referred us to state authorities. We contacted the Florida Division of Emergency Management Monday morning, and we're waiting to hear back. They have previously denied allegations of poor conditions at the facility, and despite multiple requests, we have not been given access to the area where the detainees are being held. In the studio, Hatzavala, NBC6 News.
Just in the last couple of hours, a judge has actually halted new construction at the site. Federal judge halts construction at Florida's Alligator Alcatraz. This also comes as they are planning to build another one in Indiana that was announced yesterday or the day before. Federal judges issued an order temporarily halting construction at the Immigration Center in Florida's Everglades. The judge said the addition of lighting, paving, fencing, fill, and other buildings on the site must stop while she hears a challenge to the facility brought by environmental groups. However, immigration detentions and other operations at the facility will continue as the legal process moves ahead. In a lawsuit, Friends of the Everglades, the Center for Biological Diversity, Earth Justice, and the Mikosuke tribe say the rushed construction of the facility, dubbed Alligator Alcatraz by state officials, without public input or an environmental impact statement, violates federal law. The facility, which has tents and caged cells for up to 5,000 immigration detainees, is housed at a mostly abandoned airfield located within the wetlands of the Big Cypress National Preserve. Lawyers for Florida and the Trump administration said because the facility was built and is operated by the state, federal law doesn't apply. Any person that has taken a basic American government or civics class knows that's not true. Federal law absolutely applies everywhere in the United States. Holy shit. After 2 days of hearings, she became frustrated when she learned construction was still continuing at the site, and lawyers for Florida refused to request to put it on hold. Judge Williams issued a temporary restraining order that stops construction activities there for the next 14 days. Immigration detentions and other operations are unaffected by her order. They're just arresting the worst of the worst. The worst of the worst. Like, you know, this woman who came here as a kid and has graduated high school. This is Yeonsu Go, finally released from ICE custody. This happened like 2 days ago.
Also breaking news here at 11. Her detainment sparked outrage and rallies across the city. And tonight, Scarsdale High School graduate Yeonsu Go is home with her family. Naveen Dhaliwal has the latest.
A confident Yeonsu Go walked out of ICE custody Monday evening.
I always had a faith that I'll be out soon.
She's known as Sue and was all smiles, holding her mother close.
I just wish for everyone to be safe. Me, my family, everyone who supports me to be safe, and then our hopes to be told and heard.
The 20-year-old was detained last Thursday after an immigration hearing in Lower Manhattan. The Department of Homeland Security said Monday Go overstayed her visa that expired more than 2 years ago. A lawyer with the Episcopal Diocese of New York says Go's visa was valid through December of 2025.
We're so grateful that after 5 long days, Sue gets to sleep at home in her own bed.
Doesn't get those 5 days back, though.
Her mother, we were also worried about her.
Yeonsu came to New York from South Korea in 2021 with her mother, an Episcopal priest, and the Episcopal Diocese of New York stood by her for her release. Yeonsu graduated from Scarsdale High School and was set to return to Purdue University. Over the weekend, supporters rallied for her friends calling her religious, caring, and smart.
We used to do midnight run together and make sandwiches and meals for the homeless.
Questions that can wait in this moment for this woman who is just looking to go home to her family.
No one, regardless of their status, should have to experience what she experienced, and so we're just grateful to God that Sue was returned home to her family.
DHS hasn't said why Go was released. We reach out to her attorney to see what's next. In Lower Manhattan, Naveen Dhaliwal, CBS News, New York.
Thank you, Naveen. I just hate that, yet again, the taxpayers are going to have to pay for the bullshit that these fascists have done. Oh, yeah, the brain drain is real. We're going to have we've already had, very high-profile researchers move to Britain, move to Canada. We're seeing tourism. we're seeing tourism drop. I saw a story blaming millennials because Vegas tourism has seen like a 50% drop. And I'm like, you don't think it's the ICE raids and the tariffs and all that shit? Really? It's millennials. It's millennials not spending enough money. Let's talk about 2028. As I said, we've got Harry Enton. He says it's not even close. The favorite to win the GOP presidential nomination. Okay, if polls to win the presidential nomination, did they include Trump? If it includes Trump, it's Trump. I would assume it's going to be Trump.
The Vice President J.D. Vance is in the headlines for a couple reasons today. First, he was dispatched to Indiana to meet with state leaders and likely discuss redrawing the state's congressional maps and making an effort to do so. And also, he is said to be hosting that now postponed strategy dinner to discuss how the Trump administration should be navigating the Jeffrey Epstein saga and fallout. Vance increasingly becoming one of the president's...
Spoiler alert for one of our next stories. That meeting happened.
Chief problem solvers, a role that could maybe set him up and help his chances for in 2028. CNN's Harry Enton is here and he's looking at that. Let's talk about J.D. Vance and the 2028. Where does he stand on this?
You know, I'm going to quote the esteemed scholar Larry David and say, pretty good. What are we talking about right here? Well, why don't we take a look here? Look, this is early polling, but look, for the GOP nomination, it's J.D. Vance at 40%. There's no one even close to him. Ron DeSantis back at single digits at 8%. Donald Trump Jr. back at 7%. And I know Kate Baldwin will say, Harry, it's so early. It's too early to look at the polling.
You said it. You don't even need me to say it.
I said it, quoting you. I was channeling you. But keep in mind that early favorites have actually gone on to win the nomination 63% of the time. Those who have run.
That's what I'm saying, Ducky. If Trump was in the poll, he would run away with it by far.
Since 1980, and when you're dealing with fields that are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, upwards of north of 20, and all of a sudden you're telling me that the early poll leader, who is J.D. Vance, that those win more than 50% of the time, that is why I say it looks pretty gosh darn good, or pretty good for the man from...
Quoting Larry David.
How about vice presidents historically? How they do?
Okay, so you see the polling, you see that J.D. Vance should be considered a favorite at this point, but take a look here. How about vice presidents, sitting vice presidents, the last 5 sitting vice presidents who ran? Richard Nixon in 60, he won. How about Hubert Horatio Humphrey in 68? That's HHH.
The real Triple H.
How about Bush the first in 88, won. Al Gore in 2001, Kamala Harris in 2024, won. All of the last 5 sitting vice presidents who ran for their party's nomination won. So it's not just...
Well, hold on now. With Harris, she didn't run. Last 5 sitting Veeps who ran for... Okay. But she didn't run for the nomination.
Polling, historically...
They were careful with how they worded it.
He's the sitting vice president. The history books say, hey, he's got a pretty gosh darn chance of going all the way, at least to the general election, because 5 out of 5.
Getting the nomination.
Yes.
How would President Trump factor into his chances?
Yeah, okay, so President Trump, has said some pretty gosh darn favorable things about J.D. Vance over the last week and his chances perhaps in 2028. Look at this. Times Trump endorses in GOP primaries, and that person goes on to win. Look at this. In 2020, 98%. 2022, 95%. 2024, 96%.
Come the fuck on. First of all, won the GOP primaries and usually would go on to lose. But here's the thing is like that one race he endorsed 2 people. He would retract his endorsement and then endorse the front runner. Like his endorsements have been very wishy-washy. So I don't really want to count those numbers.
Donald Trump decides to get behind his vice president. This GOP nomination fight in 2028 is likely adios amigos over. J.D. Vance is very much likely going to be the GOP nominee, which is what the polling says and what his history says as well.
I think is good for Democrats.
All seem to be coming up for J.D.
J.D. Thank you, Harry.
Thank you, Kate.
Love you.
Did she say love you? Hold on.
For JD.
JD. Thank you, Harry.
Thank you, Kate.
Love you. All right.
They're fucking. These two are fucking.
JD. Thank you, Harry.
Thank you, Kate.
Love you. All right.
Unless he's gay, that's also a possibility. Good for them. Good for them. One of the things that could not only kill your gaydar goes on with it. That's what I was thinking. So could just be that could be his. I almost said it. That could be his fruit fly. That's what I was over. I was on with Dave the other day, and I called Media Winch his fruit fly, and he's like, "Well, thank you for not saying the other phrase." I'm like, "Yeah, I would love to." If I wasn't on stream, that's what I absolutely would have said. I'm sorry. I'm so problematic. Cancel Justin.
Hey, Justin, are you trolling?
Yeah, fruit fly. Have you never heard that phrase before, Holiday? I actually heard it from one of my professors in college. She had a lot of drag queen friends, and she referred to herself as a fruit fly. More common word is hag. Yeah, Ducky. The heteros are upsetteros. Well, and if anybody who's new here, I suck lots of dick, so doesn't make it right. Does not make my racism right. Does not make my sexism or any can you call it homophobia? Fuck you, Mary Jane. Seriously. Go watch John Oliver. We don't want you here. Fuck off.
I can't wait to have your cock in my mouth. I'm going to give you the blowjob of your life. Then I want you inside of me.
You called me a shill for Israel and compared me to Ethan Klein. I'm still fucking pissed about it. I'm goddamn. And then you're promoting millionaires in my Discord. They don't need your fucking views. The fuck you didn't. You absolutely did. And I am still fucking fuming about it. So leave. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody wants you here, especially not me. Because it seems like all you want to do is fucking insult me and pick at me. Fuck off. You fucking did. You haven't apologized. And you keep trying to piss me off. I don't want you here. Period. Fuck you. Top Trump officials discussed Epstein at White House meeting Wednesday night. Much anticipated meeting between Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, Vice President J.D. Vance, and others were moved from Vance's residence to the White House Wednesday. They did that at the White House. I don't like banning people. I especially Mary Jane has been incredibly supportive of me. Has gone, liked videos, shared them out, commented, helped me try to get up in the algorithm, but then just does stupid shit, like compares me to Ethan Klein. This started because I got an email from someone from Israel yesterday They are a human rights advocate, and they are against the occupation. And had they been pro-Israel, I wouldn't have even asked the Discord. I would have went ahead and had them on and trolled the shit out of them. But because they were against the occupation, and I was like, oh, this could be interesting. Let me ask the Discord what they think. And stupid ass Mary Jane's like, yeah, do it if you want to shill for Israel. You already use Ethan Klein's genocide porn, something I've never fucking said. Does she apologize? No. And I made it very clear that it hurt my fucking feelings. As I said, last night I had people in here threatening to fucking dox me. I put my sanity on the line. I put my safety on the line to get out here and try to do the best goddamn show I can. To get called a shill for Israel. Fuck all the way off. And I'm sorry, like, to anybody in the Discord who feels like like they don't want to post things anymore because Justin might go off on them. I just ask, like, two things. Don't insult me by saying I'm a shill for Israel, and don't, like, promote other streamers and people like John Oliver and Jon Stewart. Like, they don't need your views. Big Penguins doesn't need your fucking views. John Oliver doesn't need your fucking... He's a fucking millionaire. You're not a real leftist if you're coming in taking attention away from me and sending it to John Oliver. You're a piece of shit. It's like taking fucking food out of my mouth, and you don't realize how fucking insulting it is. It's like going to an artist and being like, hey, did you see what AI did? And it hurts more because it's someone who supposedly supports me. And then has the audacity to come in here. I didn't say that. No, don't time her out. Let her speak if she wants to speak. I wish I had marijuana. That would help. Julie, welcome in. It's apparently not a great show. Apparently, John Oliver is way better. Fucking go listen to his coverage of Gaza. Not, Justin doing fucking 45 minutes on Gaza on what, Monday, Tuesday? I don't even remember what day it was. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. And the encouragement that you get. So many of you have left encouraging statements on YouTube videos and have privately messaged me and told me you appreciate what I do. I'm not doing this for the money. So, feeling appreciated would be nice. But no, I get called a fucking shill for Israel and compared to Ethan Klein. And then I make a fucking joke out of it, do a fucking bit and put the video up on YouTube. So I try to fucking laugh it off. Also, the video's kind of anti-Semitic. Because I just couldn't help myself. But then I get on this morning just to oh, here, you need to watch this John Oliver video. God damn. Because John Oliver is going to teach me about fucking something.
Hello, and thank you for reaching out to the
I tried to make a joke out of it. Hey guys, my name is JustinFREAKIN. I'm a YouTube and Twitch streamer who is very pro-Palestinian rights, disgusted by the genocide that Israel is committing. You guys have a lot of money to be able to influence people, and I'd kind of like some of that money because I'm tired of being poor. Actually advocating for human rights and being on the side of good morality doesn't pay very well. Being a genocide denier and supporter seems and it took so much more time on my part, but he was in front of a green screen, so I'm like, well, I gotta key him out and put some images behind him to pay really well. So if you guys have some cash for me, I would love to take your cash and then start being a shill for Israel. I get called a Jew all the time. I got a really big nose, so people on BitChute and Rumble constantly think I'm Jewish. I'm not. I'm Appalachian, but you know, I kind of look Jewish anyway, so let's go ahead and make it official. I will accept any payment to shill for Israel. That feels a little wrong there at the end.
Israel Public Affairs Committee.
Hey guys, my name Julie, thank you for throwing out the gift sub. Probably shouldn't have put the yarmulke and the curly sideburn on me. Holding a bag of money. That's pretty bad. Cancel Justin for that one. So, by the way, if you guys, you see my shorts, as you saw with that one, I usually spice them up. It's not normally the clip. It's not normally just the clip that you might have seen during the live show. So, if you see my TikToks and Reels, you might want to give them a watch, even if you watched the show the night before, because I might have added some funny shit to it. I try to always do that with the Reels and TikToks and make them more engaging and shit. My hot cop and hot water video is actually doing really well. Women should not be running for political office. This according to a woman in Arizona who is running for office. This is Miley Biggs, the daughter of GOP Representative Andy Biggs, because of course she is. Miley Biggs thinks that women should not be running for office. Why did the bang link? Usually it calls me an asshole. If you do the bang link, it usually says, hey, asshole, can I have a link for this? Or something like that. Which I think is hilarious. I love it when people fucking make fun of me. Yeah, that's it. That's what, I got called sensitive in the Discord. I fucking find it hilarious when people make fun of me. I don't find it hilarious when people denigrate the work I do every night and impugn my integrity and call me a shield for Israel. Fuck! That's all. All the other jokes I love. Well, you know what this makes me think of? Remember the dude that didn't believe in democracy at the Mehdi Hassan Jubilee thing? And it's like, well, yeah, we'll have one election to elect a dictator, and then we'll take all your rights away. That's what it reminds me of. The daughter of Representative Andy Biggs, one of Donald Trump's biggest congressional cheerleaders, is running for a seat in the Arizona Senate. And to hear her tell it, you shouldn't vote for her because she's a woman. On June 18th, Miley Biggs filed a statement of interest to run for the Gilbert-based state Senate seat that Arizona Senate President Warren Peterson is vacating to run for Attorney General. Biggs is running on a slate with current Legislative District 14 Representative Kyle Powell. And Lauren Hendricks, Biggs' father, who is now running for governor, also represented the district for 14 years before winning a seat in Congress. At 25 years old, Biggs just clears Arizona's age requirement to run for a legislative office. Despite her youth, Biggs has already managed to contradict the essence of her nascent venture into politics. Exactly 1 year ago, Biggs appeared on a little-known East Valley-based podcast called the Maddie McCurdy Program. During that conversation, Biggs revealed a belief that is diametrically opposed to her own candidacy, that women should not hold political office. Honestly, I don't know if I would vote for any female. I don't know if females should be in office, Biggs told McCurdy and an unknown third person in the August 6, 2024 episode. Laughing about the extreme take, if anyone thought it was a joke, Biggs was sure to clear it up that she was not kidding. There are a lot of really good women in office. I'm not trying to hate on anyone, like some really good congresswomen. Yeah, I don't think women should hold office in general. That's my position. That's my stance. I think women should run the home. I'm not well, Josephus, but welcome in, friend. Joey, is 2025 in America. No, it seems like 1925, but it's 2025. Gonna hit the content warning for this. We covered the story of GOP official busted for child porn. Apparently, he had been sending the child porn across the country.
A major update in the federal investigation of a suspended South Carolina lawmaker.
A nurse from Oklahoma City is now facing charges, accused of exchanging child sexual abuse material with State Representative R.J. May.
Newly filed court documents in Oklahoma show Christian Soto is facing federal charges for child pornography and illegal possession of ammunition. Investigators say Soto exchanged explicit content through the app Kick with a username that is alleged to be the account operated by R.J. May. Authorities say that May sent Soto more than 50 files of child sexual abuse material in April of last year. Now, according to these documents, a search of Soto's home last week led to the seizure of 60 digital devices and ammunition he's been barred from owning due to a prior protective order.
Meanwhile, Representative May faces a 10-count indictment related to child sexual abuse material. He remains in jail awaiting trial. Jury selection could begin as early as September. The South Carolina House Ethics Commission also opened its own investigation into May.
Oh, did I never give you the link to the... I'm sorry. Or did I? That's the link to the woman that said she didn't want women in office. If I didn't send it before. Now, there is a difference between Kick, the streaming platform, and like Kick, I think it's KIK is the like messaging app. It's like Signal or Telegram or whatever the fuck. Ah, fuck! I thought they were the same thing at first, but they're two different things. Hey to everybody watching on Kick right now, the streaming platform. Do not send anybody child porn. One's a messaging app and one is a... And they both kind of have the same green color, so I think they may be related. Yeah. Kick is a messaging app. And it looks like the logo for the streaming platform Kick. Are they owned by the same people? Kick Streaming Pty? I This is a Canadian company, so you guys can blame Josephus for this. But the logos look a lot alike, you gotta admit. And I was wrong about it being the same color green. This one's a little bit darker green. This is more of like a lighter green. I almost watched a video about like logo design earlier. I've watched shit about it in the past about how, like, you know, once a company becomes brand aware, their logos get really generic. Like Pepsi has no reason to have a logo that stands out to you. There's like a psychological thing about it. Let's go down to Florida, where at least she wasn't receiving child porn, but she was impersonating a nurse.
Police in Florida arresting a woman accused of posing as a registered nurse, allegedly treating more than 4,400 patients without a license. Tonight, hear the police video of her arrest showing she was still wearing medical scrubs and what she said as they arrested her. Victor Akendo from Florida Tonight.
Tonight, a North Florida woman is under arrest.
Can you step out of the car for me, please?
Accused of posing as a licensed nurse and providing care to thousands of unsuspecting patients without a valid nursing license.
Am I being arrested?
She's in scrubs right now.
Autumn Bardisa taken into custody Tuesday.
Oh yeah, you're right, Avalon. That kid that had a doctor's practice, that was in Florida.
Body camera video showing her still wearing medical scrubs. Authorities claim Bardisa used a nursing license number that belonged to someone else and treated more than 4,400 patients from June 2024 to January 2025 while working as an advanced nurse technician at Advent Health Palm Coast Parkway. That position typically involves drawing blood, administering medications, and even starting IVs.
Wait, what? So you just have to be like a what? That's like an LPN kind of deal, isn't it? Like that's like basic shit. You can just get like your phlebotomist license or some shit. God damn it. She had to lie about that?
Officials say during Bardisa's hiring process, she provided a license number that matched her first name, but not her last name. When the hospital asked Bardisa about the discrepancy, an affidavit says Bardisa claimed she had recently gotten married and had a new last name. When she was asked to provide a marriage certificate, Bardisa did not.
Fortunately, to our knowledge anyways, nobody was seriously hurt or injured.
The alleged ruse was discovered this January after Bardisa was offered...
Yeah, like a CNA. That's the word I was looking for, the phrase.
...verify her identity.
Acronym.
A 7-month investigation by the hospital.
David Bardisa faces multiple charges, and tonight authorities say that after she was fired, she got her nursing license and was working at another facility.
David. Victor Kendo with us here tonight. Victor, thank.
What stopped her from getting her nurse's license in the big... What? That's what I'm like. It's not that hard to get... So, Josephus, there's different levels, right? There's like a fucking... An RN is like big time, right? Like that's like the top level. And like those are actually like the highly trained nurses. But just drawing blood and shit like that's, oh god damn it. Like a CNA, and like that's like a certification training in just a few weeks. Content warning on this one. As soon as I can find it. This man could have used a nurse before they sent him to be executed. Advocates were arguing that he needed his heart device turned off before the execution is to make sure that it was not cruel and unusual punishment. But the state of Tennessee did not decide to turn off his heart device that was implanted. Where'd the story go? That was wild. Tennessee executes inmate despite concerns his heart device would prolong his death.
I am thankful and grateful to see this day, the load and burden that has been lifted off our hearts, not just
This is the victim's family.
with me. I thank God for making this happen. His family is going through the same thing now that we went through 37 years ago.
When this crime occurred, I was 13 going to the 7th grade. I'm 51 now standing in front of you guys, and I've been paying my taxes to keep this alive this whole time. So how does it affect me? It affects me.
Ma'am, I understand that you were a victim and everything. You actually paid more to execute him than what you would have to keep him alive.
This is not a merciful process. This is cruel, and especially today, I feel like it's torturous.
It's a sobering thing, and we do what we do, knowing that it may not change anything right now. This is wrong. This is barbaric.
The U.S. state of Tennessee has executed an inmate despite concerns that a heart implant would shock him back to life, potentially causing extreme pain during the lethal injection. Byron Black, 69, nice, convicted of a triple homicide in 1989, was pronounced dead at 10:43 local time. The Riverbend Maximum Security Institution in Nashville. The U.S. Constitution bars cruel punishment. Black's lawyers had argued that executing him without deactivating the defibrillator would cause a prolonged and painful death. 7 media witnesses present reported that Black appeared to groan in pain during the process. At one point, he was heard saying, "It's hurting so bad." It is not yet clear what caused the apparent pain. Black's attorneys have said they will review the data kept by the device as part of the autopsy. Black was convicted of fatally shooting his 29-year-old girlfriend, Angela Clay, and her 2 daughters, Latoya Clay, 9, and Lakeisha Clay, who was 6. He maintained his innocence, but his appeals were denied. Angela Clay's sister, Lynette Bell, issued a statement following the execution saying the day brought closure to her family. Black became the 28th inmate to be executed in the U.S. this year, with at least 8 more executions scheduled, including Florida. Florida put somebody to death last week, and I think they have somebody scheduled to go to death, go to the death chamber next week. I'm not a religious person. Everyone knows that. I was pro death penalty. When I was in college, my other broadcasting degree, philosophy degree. So for my philosophy degree, I can't remember if it was philosophy club or if it was for a class or whatever, but they brought in Helen Prejean, that is the nun. Is it Susan Sarandon? Is that who plays her in the Dead Man Walking? I've never seen Dead Man Walking. But yeah, it's Susan Sarandon's character. That's the actual nun that came to my school, and it was her, and it was the statement that she made that 90% of the people on death row couldn't afford an attorney. And that's what fucking changed my mind. God damn it. So I guess getting your points worth. Yeah, I'm having a hard time here. Hearing that the majority of the people, the overwhelming, over 90%, that's way over the majority, they couldn't afford proper legal representation. So that says to me we have executed so many innocent people. That's also if you are doing it as a form of punishment, then life in prison is way worse than the death penalty. If it's strictly a matter of what's the word I'm looking for? You're not trying to rehabilitate people. You are just concerned with I can't think right now. I'm sorry. Got a lot of shit going on. God damn it. I'm sorry. I apologize. One of these days, it'll come to me in the middle of the night tonight. That was the word! Ah! I feel like there's so many words that used to... I was thinking about it earlier today. I was like, I need to read more. It's been a long time since I've read a book. And I used to read all the time. That's probably one of the reasons why my mind doesn't seem as sharp. That and all the pot smoke. I need to do some reading for fun. That's what I need to do. Especially like I don't have my tablet anymore. I had a tablet that had something like 14,000 books on it. That I illegally downloaded, of course. And I used to just sit like, I loved that thing. And I had when I was in Alabama, I had the back patio. I used to love when it felt good. In Alabama, it's scorching heat most of the time. I'm not so much like pretty well pacifist. I can be convinced that, violent. I mean, we're at a point where, I was an institutionalist and I thought that we could get out of our current situation without violence. I'm not so sure about that anymore. So we may have to take up arms against our government, against our fascist overlords, against the billionaires lording over us. I'm pacifist, but yeah, to me, like, killing one innocent person is far worse than letting 100 murderers go. But that's just me. Good night, Lenny. Force all the potheads in the military, and what would that do? Brother, do you know people in the military? Like, that's one of the most uninformed things I've ever heard in my life. You sound like a complete dumb fuck. Would shape up what do you mean by shape up? You know what the military does? It breaks you down and builds you back up. They don't want people with critical thinking skills. People that smoke the pot tend to think on things a lot more. The military wants you dumb so they can control you. I want you to have critical thinking skills so you don't fall for bullshit like military propaganda. I wish right-wingers would learn to feel embarrassment. Not to mention that my dad was in the military, and he told me he smoked more pot in the military than he did when he got out. So you're tired of something that never happens. You sound like a goddamn moron. Congrats. Earlier today, 2 Pennsylvania State police officers were ambushed.
We are continuing to follow breaking news in northeastern Pennsylvania. 2 state troopers were shot while responding to a call.
That's right. Chris Hoffman joins us live now with the latest details on this developing story. Chris.
Fire resist.
We're still at the point where a lot of information.
Hold your praise there, Holiday. The cop survived. The dude is alive, or the dude is dead.
We are continuing to follow breaking news in northeastern Pennsylvania. 2 state troopers were shot while responding to a call.
That's right. Chris Hoffman joins us live now with the latest details on this developing story. Chris.
Ken and Christina are still.
Mr. Elwood. Hello, friend. How are you?
Are you still mad at me?
No, I was never mad at you.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure.
Why would you think I was mad at you?
Well, I was sharing my thoughts the other day in the disco, and, you know, it just got a little heated because of that whole thing with the other person.
Oh, she was in here earlier, and I yelled at her.
Oh, okay.
I was never mad at you. I didn't, you know, you seemed to, it seemed like victim blaming to me. To call me sensitive in the face of, you know, I feel like I had a right to be upset getting called the shield for Israel.
No, I mean, I never said don't do it. I'm not saying don't be mad. Sorry, Justin. I've just been watching you for so long, man, that it's just like, it's like a parasocial thing that I just care about you a lot. And I know you do a thing because you're like, I wear my heart on my sleeve or whatever. You know?
Oh my God.
I love that because that's why I watch you, man. To be honest.
I did actually say that, didn't I?
Yeah, you do sometimes. You kind of repeat yourself too, which is cool. I don't mind it.
What's your favorite phrase I repeat?
Oh, what's your favorite phrase? What's my favorite phrase?
Yes.
Right-wingers are fucking morons. You know, that's a good one.
I do say that one a lot. No, I'm sorry for making people in the Discord feel bad because, like, I'm sorry to go off on you guys like that. I'm still fuming over that.
Don't even, man.
I shouldn't, but it's because it's somebody that supposedly supports me saying something just completely stupid.
Fuck them.
If it was just rando groovy hot rod saying stupid shit, you know, I wouldn't care. But supposedly Mary Jane has been a supporter of mine, so
yeah,
that's what makes it hurt worse. And that's probably me having a bad parasocial relationship. I should keep you guys at a distance.
I don't know about all of us, but I guess if, you know, it's like a thing, you know, you got to treat one person like the rest of us because can't have special treatment or whatever.
I mean, you are special.
Well, then we become friends if it's a special treatment, and that's, you know, that's different, right? I'm no longer a chatter at that point.
Well, I just don't want to be in a position where, like, you know, I think everybody's my friend, and then, you know, 5 years down the road, I'll have to write a ukulele song talking about hopping aboard the toxic gossip train. That's on my mind right now because last night on YouTube, I stumbled across this dude that, like, made it into a rock band thing, so he was playing. That was the first time I'd ever seen the whole video. I watched the dude play rock band to it. Globus is my friend, yes. But no, I appreciate the hell out of you, Mr. Elwood, and I'm sorry I made you feel bad like I was mad at you.
No, and to be honest, when that was happening, I felt nervous because I was like, oh, should I like leave the Discord after this or something? And I didn't want to.
See, I don't want anybody to see, like DJ Dub was saying, like he didn't want to post anymore. And I'm like, I am so sorry that, like, I just don't want to be called a shield for Israel. What the hell?
I don't think DJ Dub's not really gonna not post anymore. He's a frequent poster. So.
Well, I hope not. I love him. I love you. I love everybody in the Discord. Just don't call me a shill for Israel, please. I mean,
I don't really feel like that was fair.
I just I feel like I pour my heart out and spend so much time. Like, I spend time working on this before I get on the stream. I'm not like other fucking streamers that just hop on and jack off in front of you. I guess they do that on OnlyFans. But
well, yeah.
I like it. Just it's insulting to me, and it felt like she was taking a shit on all the work I put into this. I'm sorry. I need to reset the timer again.
I'm not helping with the timer, so yeah.
No.
I suppose you should reset it.
No, yeah, I did reset it. But no, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. I'm sorry I made DJ Dub feel that way. My apologies to everybody in the Discord. I try not to be. I guess I do have a bit of a temper. I'm prone to fly off the handle. Also, I've been sober for 2 days, so
Why?
A little broke at the moment.
Oh, fair. Okay, that's fair.
There has been a weird shift, and it's really starting to worry me that used to, like this time last year, I had way too much work. I had way too many people asking me to make videos for them, and now I haven't had anybody ask me to make a video in a long time, including like even one of the I've had a client for like 6-7 years now. They've barely had me do any work for them. Now, they are a Republican legal lobbying firm, so I can kind of understand why they have gone down, because they don't, they're not lobbying Republicans for what they want right now. They're more active during a Democratic administration. But all the other people that I used to have, like, people would just approach me out of nowhere, be like, "Hey, will you make this video for me? Make this video for me." And that has not been happening. Now, this is, just a anecdote, but I think that doesn't bode well for the economy, especially if somebody like me, a freelancer, which is what people turn to when they're trying to save money, is not getting as much work as he used to.
Absolutely. No, yeah, I hope that doesn't turn into like a downwind situation for you, so.
It's just kind of bad at the moment, but like, I'm not the only one, once again, anecdotes, but like I saw a woman who does nails in Chicago, and she's like, "We were empty on a weekend in July. That doesn't happen."
Wow.
So and we got the jobs numbers that have been revised and everything, like they've fallen off a cliff. So I am very worried about what the economic prospects in this country look like over the next 6 months to a year. Yes, you can call me a shield for GOP mommies. You want to call me a shield for Joni Ernst? I will absolutely accept that label. Mr. Elwood, we're gonna watch South Park after the show. You wanna stick around and watch South Park with us?
I'm not really a South Park guy anymore. I'm sorry.
Oh well, I mean they're kind of topical at the moment. They took on Ice and Kristi Noem last night.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know all about it. I'm caught up. I'm caught up on the rot. No, you're good.
Well, I was gonna show for people who didn't get a chance to watch it last night, so you can stick around or even not stick around. We'll talk about dildo attacks here in a little bit.
I know about that too. It's kind of not really funny.
Oh,
but
it's not funny at all.
It's interesting though. Definitely interesting.
I saw somebody, because they have banned bags at the games now. So I saw somebody like, there's some people getting ready to get real creative with where they're going to put these dildos.
Oh.
Also, that makes it like a chemical attack, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of feels like it would.
If you shove the dildo up your ass and then you're going to throw it at somebody, that feels like a chemical attack.
Ooh, yeah, I know, because that's like, yeah. I mean, that's just like a bodily function attack, right?
Biohazard, yeah. It's a biohazard.
It's like spitting on someone equivalent, right? I feel.
I feel like it's worse.
Oh, yeah, definitely worse. You got the stinky, maybe the poop, maybe a little bit of poop on it.
Oh my God! All right, Mr. Elwood, I'm sorry I made you feel bad, and was never upset with you.
No, it's fine. I understand the situation. I feel like sometimes I choose really bad timing with my thoughts. Sometimes.
No.
It's something I've thought for a while, and I just wanted to.
I am kind of sensitive.
Justin, I've really had some nasty interactions with you in the past, and it's pretty rare, I will say. But, I just don't feel like this is something for the Troll Patrol show. So I tend to just kind of, slink it out in the chat sometimes in the Discord, because I really don't feel like it's appropriate to talk about anything regarding your personal, I guess, emotional or physical appearance or anything like that regarding like.
Now you piqued my interest. We lay it on me. Lay it on me.
I don't feel like this is appropriate for your streaming show, man.
Oh, please.
I want to talk to you about this in private.
Well, I'm kind of like a very open person anyway.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
All right. Well, personally, I feel like ever since you shaved your head, I feel like your head of hair has been something that you've absolutely loved your whole life. It's so obvious, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you shaved your head, you weren't able to fully grow back your hair. And every single time somebody in chat brings up the whole, oh, Justin, haha, look at the bald spot, blah, blah, blah. Personally, I feel like that's really insulting to you. And it's not fair because you're an older guy and you're obviously not going to grow your hair back very fast. And I feel like that leads into the whole toxic environment that you honestly just sit yourself in. And I'm not saying you do it purposely, okay? I'm just saying you're a product of your environment. And personally, I mean, we all are, right? But personally, I feel like you get attacked so much to the point where it just becomes a normality for you, to the point where you're just going, oh, well, I attack you because of this reason, I attack you because of this reason. Thus, it becomes a moment where you're very sensitive, because I feel like deep down you've been attacked so many times to the point where it's so normal that it's just a normal reflex to you to defend. You know what I mean? Like in a very aggressive way now than it's ever been before. I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Interesting. I feel like you didn't know me when I was 19. I had a huge chip on my shoulder. My ex actually popped in here one Saturday. My ex from when I was like 19, and she was like, "Oh, I'm so excited that you've changed and you seem way nicer." I'm like, I am the same exact person. Listen to the same music, watch the same TV shows, same exact person. But like, when people make fun of my hair, I don't really care. People make fun of my appearance, I don't really care. It's like I'm sensitive about my work and my art and what I put forward. That's why I got so upset about being called a shill for Israel. If she called me bald, I would have laughed it off.
To be fair, others have called you bald too, and I feel like you kind of look away from the camera when it happens, which is like understandable, but it gives off a vibe of.
I mean,
like,
I know I'm bald.
Stop talking about that, you know.
I'm aware that I'm bald, you know.
No, but I just don't like when people attack your appearance. I think is really what it is.
Well, I'm a doofy looking pothead, you know. I get
whatever.
That.
That's fine.
You're upset on my behalf about getting attacked for my appearance. Like I get called like a pedophile and shit all the time. Just rolls off my back because I know it's not true.
Not true though. But that's not true.
Well, I am bald, and that's true, and I accept it. Like, you know,
not the pedophile part though.
I understand, but that's one of the reasons why it rolls off my back. But then, like, somebody who is supposedly a supporter of mine calls me a shill for Israel. That's like impugning my integrity, and that's what set me off.
Okay, sure. All right, well.
It's so weird that, like, I feel like none of you, like, you didn't really get that from what I was saying and how I was talking about, like, I don't do this for the money and people are threatening me and I just like to feel appreciated.
No, I'm just saying there are other underlying factors here that I think contributed to that whole thing. Like overall, through a series of years. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Huh.
I'm not saying it's about your hair, Joey Aura. Dude. He says deep down it's all about your hair. No, it's obviously not all about the hair, man. It's an underlying overall ideology of just being in the same environment for so long to the point of just being so hostile at this point in your life. And like honestly, I just don't blame you. I really don't. I get it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying.
Well, I've always been, easy to, anger, and I think people kind of like that. I try to temper it a bit. People like my rants.
Technically, it's part of the show, I guess.
I try to balance it. As you pointed out the other day, you like a little less news, a little more comedy. Like I try to balance rants, comedy, news, give you the whole thing. And like I've seriously been thinking about what you said. Like I do need to focus a little bit more on comedy bits, like I did in the first year or two I was doing this.
And to be honest, I don't mind the debates that you do on the stream. I just wish you wouldn't pull out your media Justin voice every time you do, where you're like really aggressive with them, and I feel like it doesn't give them enough time to talk.
Okay, fair. That is me being really tired of the same right-wing arguments over and over again. I know what you're talking about there. I cut people the fuck off when it's like I have already heard this a million times and already have a canned response to it. So
yeah,
because do I ever get right-wingers that we do sometimes, but for the most part, do I ever get right-wingers that say anything original?
Not really. Yeah, you're right. Not really. They always bring in the same fucking shit.
So that's kind of my deal with that. I understand what you're saying, but yeah, doing this for like 5.5 years and debating on Facebook long before I ever started this. I mean, that's what started the whole Troll Patrol. But like, I've heard all the arguments. It's like I already have my canned response to what you're going to say. So, and there's also a lot of right-wingers like to come in and make bold assertions and do it in like a Gish Gallop, right? They want to throw out a bunch of stuff that's not true. So I try to stop it and be like, okay, let's drill down on this one point that I can prove to you, and you will see. And like, no, you cut me off. Oh.
I do think you have like simmered it down, but I do think you do this radio fucking aggressive ass, like it's what Dave does. It's absolutely what Dave does whenever people come on, but like Dave doesn't really debate people anymore.
Dave is so chill about it.
Yeah, he doesn't really care anymore. He used to really care though. Like he used to have people on all the time and he would rinse them. He would like, "Oh my God, you and Dave, whatever it is, you guys worked in radio." I mean, I know you did work in radio because you've said that actually. You worked in production for the longest time in your life. And because again, like I said, I've been watching you for so long. I do remember things about you, I promise. I really do care about you, Justin.
I care about you.
I'm saying like
I want to hug you now.
You and Dave, you have this other, it's like a switch. It's nasty too. You run up on people in the conversation, you run over them with words, mind you. You run over them, not only in speed, but in precision. And it fucking sucks, I think, for the other person, because I think they feel really overwhelmed to the point where they want to actually attack you to the point where they're like, ad hominem, straw man. It really gets to them. And like, I feel like that's not constructive necessarily to the actual argument because they're so worried about not winning the actual speed of the conversation.
Now you say that.
You know what I mean?
You say that, but did you see when I was on with Destiny?
No, I didn't actually.
So when I went on the panel with Destiny, I decided that I was going to get as high as I possibly could. I was going to hang back and just make jokes. And I didn't look good in that. Destiny railroaded me. I needed to be the Justin you just described against Destiny.
I do agree with that, but only because Destiny is just as aggressive as like some of the fucking media people that do that shit too. So I do agree with.
Well,
that.
he's also on speed so that he can.
Yeah, well, he just speaks so fast. I mean, he's so trained at this point, you know.
I can't. If you since you didn't see it, the very first thing I said to him was, "Hey, Destiny, are you on speed?" And he got very offended, and I made it to Streamer Fails.
What?
On Reddit. Well, it turns out like all Destiny's fucking chat was like, but he is on speed. He literally talked about the ADHD medicine that he takes so that he can stream for hours on end.
Okay. Sure. Okay, sure. It was like
because it was all these people in Streamer Fails that were like, oh, I can't believe this dude asked this. And it was like actual Destiny fans like, you realize he is on speed, right? And then that dude made a video about me and was like, you were smoking the entire time. Aren't you a hypocrite? And I'm like, no, I didn't say it was a bad thing that he was on speed. I just asked him if he was, and he got very offended.
Also, very completely different. The whole smoking weed speed thing, very different, actually.
Well, I mean, I'm naturally wound tight to begin with, as you have pointed out, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So this is a story back when I was the news director of 9 radio stations. I came in one time. This is when I'm 21, 22. And my program director sat me down. He's like, don't you think I know that when you come in here bouncing off the walls that you're high as hell? And I'm like, oh, you have it backwards. I do downers. I'm naturally wound tight. When I'm bouncing off the walls, I'm sober. So you agree that I need to self-medicate.
Also, I love your impression of your boss. Sounded exactly like Alex Jones. That's insane.
His name was Randy Jones. No relation. He was, I did a really good impression. I half-assed it there, but I did a really good impression of him back in the day. Appalachian Wireless. Because he had these jaws. He was really fat. And, like, he wouldn't mind me saying that because he's dead now. He died of a heart attack with a pizza in his hand. He would appreciate me making that joke, so don't feel too bad. But, I don't even remember what I was talking about now. But he was cool. Loved him very much. Perfect way. You say that, Avalon, but it was Domino's. I would not want to die eating Domino's.
No, God, no. Domino's is trash.
And this was before they rebranded. This would have been like 2011, 2012 when he passed away. Before that, it would have been like 2009. So way before Domino's is actually up to their quality in like the last 10, 15 years. But this was before that.
I believe it, actually. I feel like for the longest time I had Pizza Hut. But only in the 90s, though. Pizza Hut was good in the 90s. But beyond that, Jesus, it fell off. My God.
Well, chains fell off.
Yeah.
There's still great pizza out there.
I haven't found it. I don't know what it is with my area. They just suck. I don't know.
Okay, fair. Are you looking at the local places?
Yeah, absolutely.
None of them are good?
No, sorry, I meant Pizza Hut. My Pizza Hut, like the Pizza Huts in my area suck.
Oh, well, Pizza Hut in general, I think, has fallen off.
Oh, yeah. No, there's great pizza around my area, absolutely.
That's what I was about to say. Like, the local places are usually killing it. When I was in Charlotte for that month, oh my, that was.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name of that place. It was right downtown, and it was so fucking good. But it was like an old gas station they converted into a pizza place. It was awesome, and they still had like the pumps, and they had refurbished or refinished or whatever. So they had the old pumps inside the restaurant. Super cool.
Wow, that's actually really cool.
Yeah. I lived in the very kitschy hipster area.
Oh,
Charlotte.
that explains it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If you've ever been to Charlotte, it's right there where the stadium is, kind of off to the side.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay.
And there's like a little almost bohemian kind of neighborhood and all kinds of just awesome fucking places to eat.
Gives you that indie feel.
Yeah. Oh, we got completely off topic now.
All right.
Anyway, I'm gonna try to finish this show up and watch some South Park, even if you're not gonna join us. Breaks my heart you're not gonna be here with us, but I understand.
No, I watch other. I'm busy. I'm sorry. I'm so busy.
You're okay. You do not have to make.
Just know that I'm around, though.
I know you're around.
I'm always around, whether I'm chatting or not, and usually not chatting.
And hey, I try to put my shit up everywhere to where if you missed the show, you can go back and watch it. Not that you have to, but if you need to find out what that news be doing.
Absolutely. We'll get back to it as well.
I love you, Mr. Elwood. Thank you.
Have a great night, Justin.
You too.
Bye-bye. Bye, chat. Bye.
Go get you some good pizza.
Yeah.
Byronic, welcome in. Anybody else sneak in here on me objectively? I think you did. Media winch. Hot bitch alert. Sociotolo. I always fuck your name up. I'm so sorry. Sociotolo. Tones. Julie. Joey. Blah, 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 blah. Anybody else? Michael, did I tell you good evening? Globus. Welcome in, friends. I tried it. Princess Kimberly. Media winch in the house. What happened to Groovy Hot Rod? You don't want to call in? You don't want to tell me like what's your deal with potheads? Did a squirrel? Love you, squirrel. You didn't want to call in and tell us what you find. Did a pothead? You had a girl that was a pothead and she broke your heart. She wouldn't give you the time of day, would she? And that's why you have a thing against potheads. Sports cards, welcome in. It's always projection. It's always some internalized bullshit with you guys. Ah, shit. The cops didn't die. I'm going to skip this one. Well, no, let's find out what happened. 2 cops were ambushed in Pennsylvania. The cops are alive. The suspect is dead.
We are continuing to follow breaking news in northeastern Pennsylvania. 2 state troopers were shot while responding to a call.
That's right. Chris Hoffman joins us live now with the latest details on this developing story. Chris.
Ken and Christina we're still at the point where a lot of information is coming into our newsroom, but according to authorities, 2 troopers were shot while responding to a domestic call and were allegedly ambushed. Now, this happened in Susquehanna County, which is up near the New York State border in the northeastern part of the state up above Scranton. State police say the shooting happened around 11 this morning.
Good night, my lord. I might be here for music requests tomorrow night, or I might be hanging out with Curiouser. I think she said she was going to come over tomorrow. So I don't know if she wants to like go out and do something or whatever. So maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe later in the night. Possibly we'll see you guys tomorrow. If not, I don't know if I'm going to do wrestling on Saturday. We may do Snick on Saturday or something.
In the area of State Route 171. The troopers were sent to the home for a welfare check and reports of shots fired. Now, once they got to that home, a suspect allegedly ambushed the troopers, shot at them, and wounded them. One trooper had to put a tourniquet on the other before a third trooper rescued those 2 state troopers. Police say the man had a rifle and did not comply with demands. He was shot and killed by police. No identity for that suspect has been given. The troopers have been identified as Joseph Porechnitsky and William Jenkins. Both are listed in stable condition.
This Susquehanna County?
And 6th shooting of a state trooper during my time and Colonel Paris's time in these roles. It never gets easier, but I am always strengthened by and lifted up by.
What I don't appreciate is the very first headline I saw about this was Josh Shapiro on the scene of state troopers shot. That was the first headline I saw. Like right after it happened was that Josh Shapiro was on his way. Like, what a dick.
the heroism and the bravery that these troopers demonstrate in just really, really difficult circumstances.
Now, more information is expected to come out any minute as a press conference is planned for right now on this situation. This is a developing story. As more information comes out, we will keep you posted both on air and online. Ken and Christine.
Thank you, Chris.
Now, I did a quiz last night. I was in with a new friend I made on Twitch. I was in his channel because he had a Solid Snake quote as the headline. Wasn't even doing politics or anything. And they were watching a soap opera from like 2000 called Passions. And they had me take a quiz to see which character I was. So I humored them. I did the quiz. But the quiz thing had a thing about who's your 2028 presidential candidate. So I did the quiz for who's my 2028 presidential candidate. Josh Shapiro came in 8th, I think. He got cut off. I couldn't get everybody. My number one candidate, according to this, it didn't give me like who all they were including. I forget the name of the channel right now, Avalon. But they were cool. There were about 10, 15 of them in there. I hung out for a while. Like, I actually watched some Passions. I would love to give them a shout out, but I don't. This is like at 4 a.m. I don't think they're... Jez Spirit. That's who it was. Jez Spirit. That's who I was watching Passions with last night. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was my top pick, and yeah, of the people they listed, AOC would be my top pick. Yes, Ro Khanna. I would take Tim Walz over Ro Khanna. And then there's a precipitous drop-off from the top 3. Ruben Gallego, it's been kind of a disappointment since he's been in the Senate. Definitely not a fan of Cory Booker. And you might not be able to see because of the troll head. It has Amy Klobuchar. As I agree 81% with Amy Klobuchar. Really? Gallego's been a bit of a disappointment in the Senate, but also he's only been there in a Trump administration. So, be more telling of his performance in a Republican-controlled Senate. Be more telling of his performance when we have some, progressive agenda items we're trying to get through and see how he votes. Hold out hope he can redeem himself. Let's go to Colorado, where apparently a Broncos receiver and 2 friends were mistaken for a meetup for a cocaine deal.
$50,000 cocaine deal involving fake money appears to have been at the center of a shooting last year that injured a Denver Bronco and 2 others. That's according to court documents obtained exclusively by 9 News Investigates. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
I'm Alexandra.
I love how Avalon's reaction to every story is, what? Yes, that's the kind of stories we do on this show. Ones that make you go, what?
Lewis. On top of that, wide receiver Josh Reynolds, who now plays for the Jets, and 2 others with him appear to have been victims of mistaken identity.
Drop it in the Discord tones.
Kevin Vaughn from 9 News Investigates joins us now. Kevin, this is quite a tale and a wide-ranging investigation.
I promise I won't yell at you if you post in my Discord, despite what you may have heard.
What have you learned?
Well, Alex and Kim, you'll remember that police made 2 arrests within days of this shooting last October, and another a couple months after that. But this investigation has had many tentacles, and 6 more people are facing charges after arrests in January.
He's saying we're watching some hentai.
March and June. One of those suspects remains at large. The night began at a Glendale strip club and ended along Interstate 25. A Ford Bronco riddled with gunshots. At the wheel,
Catch by Josh Reynolds, touchdown Denver!
and a receiver for Denver's favorite team, Reynolds and 2 companions all suffered injuries. Denver police investigators worked the scene, worked to understand what happened and why. Now, documents obtained by 9 News Investigates shed light on what investigators and prosecutors believe went down. The trouble started when someone, not with Reynolds, purchased $250,000 worth of cocaine and paid for it with fake money. One of the people
Was the cocaine fake? It says discovered to be fake. But he's saying the money was fake. $250,000 of cocaine is a lot of fucking cocaine.
With fake money. One of the people arrested told police that the man who sold the cocaine enlisted others to find the buyers and F them up. Men in 4 vehicles followed Reynolds and his companions from the club onto I-25, and at least 1 person opened fire. Investigators don't believe Reynolds or his companions had anything to do with the drug deal or the fake money. One suspect pleaded guilty last week.
The court documents seem to indicate that the cocaine was fake, but the news story indicates that the cocaine was real, the money was fake.
In a deal with prosecutors, he faces 8 to 12 years in prison. The other 8 suspects all face charges of attempted murder. As for that fake money, documents show that $37,000 in movie prop currency was discovered in a hotel room where this drug deal went down. Live in the newsroom.
Because it was prop currency, apparently.
So unusual. And of course, once you have an athlete's name attached to anything, that's how it blows up.
Yeah, and Kim, this money apparently looks very real, but does have fine print on it that says, only for use in the film industry on it.
Interesting. Thanks, Kevin.
I was watching Old King of the Hill last night because I was trying to hype myself up for the release of King of the Hill, and Peggy was smuggling cocaine into this prison for some dude that tricked her into thinking she was his teacher. And then I don't remember what caused me to find this out, but like the new King of the Hill is already out and has been out for days. So I was like, oh shit, I need to download this and watch it. I watched the first 2 episodes last night at like 5 a.m. Good so far. I've only seen the first 2. But so far, very much into it. Probably watch the rest of it tonight. This happened in Houston, I believe. A woman was kidnapped while waiting for her Uber.
Thank you for joining us tonight for KPRC 2 News at 10. I'm Daniela Guzman.
And I'm Keith Garvin. A woman kidnapped while waiting for her Uber ride lives to tell her story.
Yeah, this incident happened early Sunday morning just outside the flats on Tangleweld Apartments on Tangleweld Street. 57-year-old Luis Leon Quesada is charged with kidnapping and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. KPRC 2's Corley Peel joining us now live from the complex with how the woman managed to get away. Corley?
Daniela and Keith, this was a scary...
Corley Peel? What the fuck kind of name is Corley Peel?
Situation. The woman says she does not know Luis Leon Quesada, has never seen him before. She said she had just left her friend's apartment around 5 o'clock in the morning and was out here waiting on an Uber when she says Quesada started talking to her, offered her a ride, and despite declining, she says he forced her into his vehicle, but it was her quick thinking and the help from a friend that ultimately saved her. This photo shows the moment accused kidnapper Luis Leon Quesada was taken into custody. The woman he is accused of taking, too frightened to show her face, but tells us he forced her into his van while she waited for an Uber outside the Tanglewide apartment Sunday morning.
He pushed me in the passenger seat, and so I kind of waited for him to go to the driver's side, and I took that as a chance to run out and try to make a run for it. He continued to chase me.
She tried wrestling him off as she says he pushed her into the back of his van, but was overpowered.
And then he started sexually assaulting me. He took me to the front and told me he's gonna take me to a hotel and that he's gonna keep me safe and that he'll take me home afterwards.
She realized fighting wasn't helping and started playing it cool.
I had a gym bag with all my stuff, and so I kind of had my phone under there and I started texting my friend and I shared my location asking for help.
Her friend contacted Zeed Anjar, who rushed to help.
We went in my car. I was like, quick, text her. Tell her, don't say anything, just let her share the location. She's like, I got the location. I was like, tell her to call so we can have the combo. We put a mute.
The woman managed to snap this photo of Quesada's phone, showing their location and helping identify his vehicle.
As soon as I found him, I blocked him right away. He crashed into me the first time, and then again I crashed him.
Anjar blocked him on Westheimer.
I was trying to get him. His door was locked. She was able to unlock the door from her side, from inside the car. She came, she jumped into our car. First step I got her. She's safe. She was not hurt at that time. And then I continued to chase him.
Quesada drove back to the apartments. Anjar blocked him again, but this time Quesada had backup.
He came out with the knife, and then his homeboy, he came out with the gun. He pointed a gun at me.
The other guy ran away, and police ultimately found Quesada in his apartment.
I just wanted to go home, have kids that were waiting on me, and
this was some kind of trafficking deal, wasn't it?
God knows what he would have done if we would have made it there.
It wasn't just an assault. He was going to kidnap you and traffic you.
And the woman is hoping her story will help warn others. Tonight, Quesada is in the Harris County Jail on a $145,000 bond for both the kidnapping and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
What was the thing the other day that I was flipping out that was like $250,000 bond? I'm like, I've seen people with way worse charges have smaller bonds than that. Here's another example, 125 grand. Really?
In charges, he has not been charged with sexual assault, but he is due back in court tomorrow. Reporting live, Coralie Peel, KPRC 2 News.
Boomhauer is the best. I love Boomhauer. And he's probably Hank and Peggy sound exactly like they did, but of all the other characters, Boomhauer is the one that sounds the most like himself. Dell does not sound right. And it's still on the episodes I've watched, it's still the original voice actor. So I guess it's just age. I'm interested to see what happens when Toby Huss takes over for Hardwick. Like the 6th episode or 7th episode. I wonder if he does Dell as Dell is now, or if he does Dell as Dell was in the original series. I haven't gotten that far, but they did a touching tribute to John Redcorn and to Johnny Hardwick. I love one of the very first scenes is John Redcorn and Nancy doing some kind of house flipping show, and somebody in the chat is like, they're banging, aren't they? Or John Redcorn is hitting that. God, I love that show so much. Been a lot of cocaine on the show tonight. Is cocaine coming back into style? I haven't even seen cocaine other than that one time that I hooked up with that 50-year-old dude and he brought cocaine over and offered it to me. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. Yeah, it did. It was meth there for a little while.
I was on crack.
Right.
You don't hear about people out here doing cocaine.
Hello and welcome to ABC Action News at 11. I'm Nadine Yanis. Thank you for joining us. Developing new tonight, the new principal at Lato High School is arrested just more than a week before the new school year is set to start. Temple Terrace police say Scott has...
I don't think they make Quaaludes anymore, do they? That's like something that got discontinued.
...was arrested for DUI and possession of cocaine. ABC Action News reporter Annette Gutierrez has more details on his arrest and reaction tonight.
Hillsborough County Schools says Scott Hazlitt has been with the district for nearly 2 decades, and the first day of school is about a week away, and he was set to be the new leader in charge of Lato High School. But now he is facing some serious charges.
It's a proud moment knowing that, our staff, our kids, and everyone responded the way they should in a circumstance.
It was just last year when ABC Action News interviewed then Assistant Principal Scott Hazlitt, credited for helping save a student's life. But now, after learning about his arrest for DUI this weekend, Linda Unfried, the co-founder of Mothers Against Drunk Driving here in Hillsborough County, feels he put lives at risk.
Thank God the Temple Terrace police officer stopped him, saved him from killing someone, killing himself.
Temple Terrace police say early Saturday morning around 1:20, they were conducting speed checks on East Fowler Avenue near 60th Street when they caught Hazlitt driving 15 miles per hour over the speed limit. Temple Terrace police say their officer noticed signs of impairment while conducting a field sobriety test and determined he was driving drunk. As they searched Hazlitt's car, Temple Terrace police say officers also found cocaine.
We all have choices.
So he was drinking and doing coke?
Really bad choice.
Unfried has been advocating for safer roads against drunk driving for decades. She says this was preventable, and he should be setting an example as a leader of the school.
Disappointed? Really disappointed. You have this man who should have known a whole lot better, who should have been teaching his students to be responsible, not to be reckless, not to do these things. And it's just unbelievable.
Wait. The co-founder of Mothers Against Drunk Driving is Linda Unfried? Linda Unfried?
Not to do these things. And it's just unbelievable.
About a month ago, Hillsborough County Public Schools posted this on X, congratulating him for becoming the new principal of Lato. Now,
It said Unfried.
tells us after this arrest, he's on administrative leave, saying, quote, "These allegations are deeply concerning and we appreciate the prompt response from law enforcement." Hazlitt has been released on bond, which was set at $3,500. As for what's next with his position here at Lato High, well, that's up in the air. But for now, reporting in Tampa, Annette Gutierrez, ABC Action News.
Thank you, Annette. I was in the bathroom whenever they said it. You heard the name. I was assuming you heard it in the story. I thought that cocaine went out of style because meth came into style. Meth is cheaper, and cocaine you have to do every 30, 40 minutes. Meth you can do once and be wired for a fucking day. So I just thought meth had taken over. This is a story I would love to be able to laugh about, because usually an attack with a dildo would be a fun story. As people in the Discord pointed out, oh yeah, hey, that's funny. No, it's probably misogynistic, possibly homophobic terrorism that we've got going on. A man has been arrested following it's a epidemic. But this specific man threw a sextoy during a Phoenix Mercury game.
18-year-old Caden Lopez of Waddell attempted to throw a green sex toy onto the court but it did not reach the court. Instead, it hit a 9-year-old girl and her uncle attending the game. Lopez told police he purchased the sex toy the night before after seeing other incidents on social media. Today, we heard from Braden Bell. He is the play-by-play voice of the Mercury, and he appeared today on Fox 10.
I mean, yeah, like if you were going to an NBA game and throwing dildos on the court, I would think it was fucking hilarious. But doing it at a WNBA game adds just a layer, couple different layers to this, where it seems like a very misogynistic, homophobic thing to do. Go throw a goddamn dildo at LeBron, and I'll laugh my ass off.
Talks.
I don't know what's going on. It needs to stop. Yeah. First and foremost, I think that's.
It's really inappropriate.
It's extremely inappropriate. It's also, it's putting people in danger.
Yeah.
Whether we want to, discuss that or not. These are athletes who are running, they're cutting, they're jumping, exactly right.
And
it's
very
inappropriate
and very unhygienic.
Well, that's one of our topics today is hygiene. But Celeste, you and I both have been watching.
Breaking news. A fourth dildo has now hit the court, happening in just the last 20 minutes. Holy shit. So, dildo on the court. Yeah, you can see it bounce there. I was trying to find you video of one of the other. This was apparently Chicago and Atlanta. I've got a better video of it.
Nothing start in the third quarter.
No bag policy. Now, this one was purple. The last one was green. This is the one I think we just saw the dude get arrested for, but didn't make it to the court. So, dildos becoming a regular occurrence at WNBA games. They had a no bag policy. If somebody stuck it up their ass, that is a biological attack. You will get fucking hate crime charges from that. Jesus Christ, people, use your fucking brains. Also, go do it to an NBA game, please. And then I can laugh at it. Throw a dildo at LeBron. Oh, I guess the NBA is not a thing at the moment. It's in the off season, isn't it? They come back in 2 or 3 months. This is the second story we've done about this. I don't know if this is the same one that we covered a few months back. But apparently a suspect dressed up as a bear to try to commit insurance fraud.
Shocking video from November.
Yeah.
People were arrested for allegedly faking bear attacks in luxury cars to collect insurance money. Well, today they appeared in court. KCAL's Joy Bennett.
They're not a new one.
What happened?
It's security video giving bears a bad name as investigators say someone in a bear costume ransacked multiple cars. The only honey inside, a false insurance claim.
You each waive and give up that right and agree that your preliminary hearing would be timely.
It's a case that certainly turned heads in San Bernardino County. And Monday, all 4 defendants faced a judge for a preliminary hearing.
Ruben Mrazian, yes, Your Honor.
They waived their rights to a speedy hearing. The 3 men and 1 woman are out on bail. None of them wanted to speak on camera after the court appearance, but we're learning more about this case and the bare necessities of the complaint. According to court documents, the 4 individuals from LA County claimed a bear destroyed 3 high-end vehicles at Lake Arrowhead in January of 2024. A 2010 Rolls-Royce Ghost, a Mercedes G-Wagon, and a 2022 Mercedes-Benz 350. The State Department of Insurance says the individuals then provided this grainy security video to their insurance providers, Bristol West, Progressive, and State Farm, being reimbursed more than $300,000. Their providers became suspicious and alerted the Department of Insurance, which sent the video to California Fish and Wildlife, which then determined this was not a bear, but a human in a bear suit. A suit investigators say was later found in a home of one of the defendants. And all 4 were arrested and are now working their way through the court process. All 4 suspects are facing 3 counts each of insurance fraud as well as defrauding an insurer. Their next court appearance is scheduled for October the 16th. Joy Benedict, KCAL News.
Well, that's your animal video for the... Oh, I guess I can't do that to you guys. I gotta give you something cute. If you didn't get to watch South Park last night, stick with us. We'll watch last night's episode. I guess that's a thing I'm doing this year. For those of you that don't have access to the cable, I will play you South Park the day after. Guess it's a new tradition. Here's a baby goat. I did it last week because I thought it was a newsworthy event. This one also seems a little newsworthy, but not quite in the same way. So YouTube people, Kick, podcast. Sorry you don't get to watch South Park with us. That's a Twitch only thing. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before we hit the sack. I am JustinFREAKIN. We will see you on Sunday night on the Troll Patrol live. Goodbye, YouTube people. Goodbye, podcast people. Goodbye, everybody over on Kick, Rumble, D-Live, Odyssey, BitChute. Facebook ain't working for me right now. Sorry, Facebook people. Let me go ahead. I'm going to put on music for like one song while you watch this cute little baby goat. And I changed the title and all that good shit.
I know you like it like that. Rude on the beat when I'm doing my dance.
Oh yeah, please let us know about going to the Bernie rally.
No hands, I maneuver the bag.
I think you should have time to troll the Trump protesters and then also be able to get in for the speech. I would think you could do both. Textilian, I don't know if I told you good evening. Or you, Flash. Welcome in, friend.
We attracted, that's a bad bitch way to understand it. It's always in your hands like Ricky is my brand. Now I'm Wim Hofing and quantum leaping, making art with my funky feelings, taking care of my body, she needs me. Time to be the flower, not the bumblebee. I know you like it like that. Rude on the beat when I'm doing my dance, making moves like he said. No hands, I maneuver the bag.
What season is this South Park? Is it 27?
Rise from the ashes and making hoes mad, making moves like he said. Big magic, no hands, I maneuver the bag.
Yes, 27. The name of the episode is Got a Nut.
Shivers up my spine as I assimilate to another vibration. I think Satan was it's just a figment of my imagination. It's giving victim, it's giving bitch. When are we gonna transcend into a new dimension? I get impatient, I meditate, then that's when I begin to have ascension symptoms. I know you like it like that. Rude on the beat when I'm doing my dance. Making moves like he said. No hands, I'm a new.
I don't, for some reason, YouTube keeps